right. Lovely afternoon, and we are back again with Game Plan on 99.7 Joe FM. My name is Fentuo, Tahiru, your host. We're on from now till 3 p.m., bringing you the best perspectives from the world of sports. And quite a lot has been happening. Tonight we've got lots of transfers covered. Ronaldo has finally completed his move to Manchester United. What exactly does he bring to that team? We've had first look at some teams in pre-season. Manchester United, Chelsea have all been involved. Tottenham Hotspur, Arsenal. What early indications have you seen in those squads? What is needed? What is covered already? What's happening with Moses Caicedo to Chelsea? And with Fofana out, should they sign Harry Maguire? That's a conversation we'll have here on the show. Right here at home, it almost looks like a coordinated attack against the Black Stars coach Chris Hughton. This week has been quite eventful. Comments from people in high places. George Amaku said he's not being impressed by Chris Hughton. He's only played 3 matches. Randy Abbey says a lot needs to improve. He had a lot of expectations for Chris Hughton and his backroom staff because they've been there for a while. He says we don't have a lot of time. We need to improve and improve very, very quickly. Shadow, the team manager, has said that he believes that we are better off with continuity. He says, of course, that we would have been better if Otuado continued as head coach. He has explained that that is not to say he doesn't support Chris Hughton. He actually wants more time for Chris Hughton. But the question we are asking is this necessary at this time? Why are we already pumping pressure, whether perceived or natural, on the head coach of the Black Stars? Is it warranted, given our recent failures? Oh, this is quite unnecessary. After 3 matches into his 2-year contract, key people already want him to improve. He's played 3 games, 2 draws and a win. So that's an essential part of the conversation. The conversation is yours today. Towards the end of the show, I'll try and see if I can open up some phone lines for you to call in and contribute. But for now, you can tune in using our Twitter Spaces. We're live there. We're streaming there on Joy 99.7 FM and also on Joy Sports GH. We're streaming on Twitter Spaces, so you can listen to us live during your lunchtime. Also streaming on YouTube at the Joy FM handle and on Facebook at the Joy FM handle. Later today, of course, this show will be available as a podcast for you to listen back on all the podcast platforms: Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and also on YouTube at the Joy News handle on YouTube, Joy News YouTube channel. This show will be available for you to watch back. But the show is live and interactive as usual. The WhatsApp number to send in your thoughts to is 055-111-1997, 055-111-1997. Is the pressure on Chris Hughton necessary? The calls and the demands for him to improve, are they required at this moment? Impressed or not? George Marco says he is not impressed. Remember, he's a former management committee chairman of the Black Stars. He's an ex-co member, so is Randy Abbey. Marco says he's not impressed. Is that realistic? Is that justified? Or you sense that perhaps there is a certain coordinated attempt at piling unnecessary or needless pressure on Chris Hughton at this point? Or you think that justifiably those comments need to come because Hughton needs to get his acts right? Where do you stand in that conversation? Galeno Amate has arrived in Turkey, where he's expected to complete a move to Besiktas. What does that mean for his Black Stars career? 055-111-1997 is the WhatsApp number. Also on Twitter, leave me a message. Use the hashtag GamePlan and I will retweet your messages and share them with the rest of our listeners from across the globe. The hashtag, of course, is Game Plan, or just tweet at me at Fentuo_. But tonight, or this afternoon, there's only one place to start the show. Daniel Koranteng, take it away.
What's my name? Oh, Nana. What's my name? Oh, Nana. What's my name? What's my name? What's my name? I need a girl to take it over. Looking for a to take it over. Oh, oh, oh,
Hey boy, I really wanna see you.
If this guy knew his voice was horrible, he wouldn't be.
Hey boy, I really wanna be with you.
All right, welcome to the show, everybody. Onana is a Man United player now. Sitsofe, Philip, Atsrim, Daniel Koranteng, Muftawu, Nabila, Abdullahi. Muftawu, we missed you.
Back.
He's back on the show. How are you? Philaman.
Friends, can I tell the story of why
Muftawu has been absent for the
Can I
past
tell the
3
story?
weeks.
No.
Muftawu has been
on
absent.
leave.
Huh?
He's been on leave.
Yes, but he was
But
supposed to.
something happened.
He was supposed to.
I was supposed
Whatever
to.
time he was supposed to resume, he wouldn't have missed
what-
the plan.
What
No
is the
problem.
supposed? What is the
But-
supposed here?
but-
There's still a story. And we'll
but-
tell the story.
Which story
Muftawu
is
was
that?
supposed to resume work on Wednesday. He was not at work on Wednesday. He was not at work on Thursday.
Oh, wow.
Today is Friday.
Wow.
It's today that he has decided to show up at
I
work.
can't believe this, man.
And then you see,
You see?
that it is not possible for Muftawu to stay away from work when his leave is over, unless
A shock.
Daniki.
In your intro, you said there's a coordinated effort at attacking Chris Hilton.
I didn't say that. I
So
said,
this is a coordinated effort to attack me.
I
But
said,
this is not an attack.
It's not an attack.
We are just spilling facts.
That's
It's
the
the truth.
Were you
The
in my
people
house?
must know.
Were
why
you in my
are
house?
absent.
Daniel, what happened? Why is Muftawu?
So it all started on Tuesday,
Yes.
the day before he was supposed to resume.
Uh-huh.
Muftawu, you see, when you're on leave, you don't calculate your transport to work and things. So you think you have excess money. You understand? So
So you chop the money by
Muftawu
heart.
miscalculated,
Uh-huh.
and he chopped the money by heart.
His salary.
Thank you. So Muftawu didn't calculate for the last 2 weeks of this month. So he's sitting here, he's broke. But that's a side issue.
Yes.
So Muftawu going home from Medina,
Uh-huh.
he was going home and his stomach did,
That's right.
you know, chop since morning. So he said, this thing I for buy two. But I see now the economy to 20 Ghana, you can't get proper rice.
And he only had 20
And
cities.
he only had 20 cedis.
Uh-huh.
And he wanted rice or nothing else. You understand?
Yes.
So he looked around Medina. The Indomie women too, they say 25 and above.
That's right.
So right now Muftawu was hot.
Uh-huh.
So he was walking around Zongo Junction area.
Yes.
Then he-
That place.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then he took a sharp turn.
That's right.
Sharp turn. Then he saw a woman in the corner there selling granules.
Wait. Fried granite or
No.
the boiled one?
Raw. The raw
Wait,
granite.
wait. The one they harvested straight from the farm.
Burger straight from the farm. Straight groundnut.
And that one is cheap. It's raw.
That one
It's
is
raw.
cheap.
Yeah, they've not done anything to it.
Cheap and plenty.
Now, if you are holding 20 Ghana, Muftawu lives at Atomic area.
Yes.
20 Ghana. Somebody would think that Muftawu will buy granite like,
10
let's say,
city.
10 CD.
Yeah, take change.
And then use the this
for
rest for
transport.
transport.
No.
Muftawu bought raw granite, 20 Ghana, one Olonka, full Olonka,
And walked home.
and he walked from Medina to this thing, to Atomic. Now when Muftawu got home, he didn't even fry the granite too.
Oh.
Charlie, he poured the granite into a bowl, raw like that. Then he went to fetch water from the tap. See, some big cap. See, Muftawu has some blue cap. He has some blue cap.
He has brought it to work
Oh
every
yeah, it's
time
1.5 liters.
to drink cowboy coffee.
1.5 liters. The cap is 1.5 liters. He filled it with water. Oh. Tahiru, water. Then he put it on the side. Then he took the groundnut, crack, 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 crack. Then he drank the water.
He will chew some, then drink water.
See, I promise you, approximately 17 minutes later. 17 minutes later.
1-7.
His stomach, you see, the stomach is a very interesting organ.
That's right.
When you are hungry, it's the top side of the stomach that does crrr.
True story.
When something goes wrong, it's the lower side of the stomach that does crrr.
The bowel movement close
Thank
to
you.
the down there.
So the connection between the stomach and the large intestines and the rectum, it started doing crrr. Then Muftawu, you see the bottom sticks too. When something wants to drop, then they'll start twerking on their own.
That's right.
So
That's why you squeeze your legs.
That's why you
Why
squeeze it.
is
Allow him to go on.
Danny
Make him
is
go
talking
on.
as if you see like
Even like Danny dem
as the saying goes, everybody has a guardian
But you
angel.
told me.
Danny is speaking
I
as if
told you.
he was
told me.
like he was the angel around Muftawu throughout, so he was seeing it fili.
Oh, yes.
I am.
Please, Muftawu, relax.
I am
Muftawu, relax.
flummoxed.
No, relax. Daniel, finish the story.
Hey, Fentuo,
So-
make him finish the
No,
story.
Muftawu, please.
You see
Finish
that
the
thing
story.
where you see, and this one, Muftawu, don't do like. We all know what you were going
Finish
through.
the story.
You understand? When you are in those situations, we all understand how the bottom chicks behave.
Sure, they will
Then
be
they'll-
tweaky.
Twerking
Then you
like
squeeze your legs.
you squeeze your leg, then do.
But still.
Oh! We were there, Muftawu has called Fentuo Tahiru, and I was there with Fentuo in the body. He said, Boga, Charlie, tomorrow
I can't come to
I
work.
can't come to work. Oh. Friend said, oh, what is wrong? He says, I'm going through a situation I can't control. Charlie, the guy took collodium. He took
You know work.
Charlie, you know where? He went to Google. They said they should drink this tea. He
He consulted Google doctor.
he said it won't work. Wednesday afternoon. He said, oh, so that was Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah.
Wednesday afternoon, he called back.
I
He
remember.
said, oh, you remember that Wednesday?
I said, Charlie,
said,
what's going on? How
what's
far
going on?
now?
How far?
Any improvement?
He said, I thought I was okay. I
But,
thought I was okay. But this
after-
thing is unpredictable, my brother.
it was Thursday. Then Thursday, yesterday, he called me. I asked him, Muftawu, how are you feeling? He said, my brother, now the thing is thick small.
Now me buy you. Have a little respect.
Welcome to the show. Thank you. I'm sorry. No, we have to start on that note. But Muftawu, we've missed you. So welcome
It
to
was
the show.
okay to start on that. note. I go. The pressure I
No
go
problem.
there, and the interview to
No
ask me that
problem.
one. If you grab you go talk about.
Sitsofe, Philip Atsrim. Listen.
What's up?
Let's get straight to it, okay?
Quick.
Now, on Sunday, our very good friend, on Friday, the Shadow was here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. He came here to talk football DNA. All right. No problem. No problems. See, when you come to Joy, you don't have any problems. Then,
When you go another place.
hold on. Then Saturday, free. Sunday evening, sit at home. Oh. The Shadow, sit at home. No. Your man, he didn't sit at home. He went to another station. And out of excitement, he said plenty things. But you see the way the media works. You can say all the sense. But you say it on one sentence, B. And the people see headlines there. And then they will take it. And unfortunately for him, I listened to the whole thing. And I could see the sense he was trying to make. Okay? He was trying to make a sense of why we needed longevity. And longevity is good. But certain sentences, if you say it, because of perception already, people read meanings. So, this is what Aminu Shadow said concerning ex-coach Otto Addo, which has now been elongated to implicate the current coach Chris Hughton. Listen to this.
I've always said, and I've made this very public. I believe that we would have been better off with Otto Addo continuing, because he made mistakes at the World Cup. He has never been at that level before. He is somebody who learns on, who takes lessons out of failures, and I believe would have been better placed to make right decisions now. But that is gone.
Okay, it is gone. The comment itself there is not gone. It's here. So Shadow on 3FM on Sunday evening. I've spoken to Shadow. He says the meaning they're ascribing to it is not what he intended to communicate. And to be fair to him, if you listen to the full audio, that's not like if you take this in isolation, it has far more dangerous implications than if you listen to the full tape. That's fair. So it's important that I put that out, just to be fair to him. Then George Amwako, management committee chairman, former management committee chairman for the Black Stars. He was also asked about Chris Hughton. For him, there were no insinuations. It was clear as day. He is not impressed with Chris Hughton after 3 matches.
Yeah, to me, he's not impressive. All the games we played under him, I'm not impressed. And let's pray, sir, at least we'll qualify for the next AFCON in Côte d'Ivoire. Yeah. And then we'll see how we proceed from there. Because World Cup, we should qualify. We will have to qualify and go to America. Ghanaians will want to go to America. But so far, a lot will have to be done.
Okay. I have not been impressed. He said he was in Angola for the game. He's not been impressed at all. That the work that remains to be done for Chris Hughton is huge. And he doesn't need 10 matches to see that Nkoye, only 3 games. He is satisfied. He's seen enough to conclude that he's not impressed with Chris Hughton. Randy Abe also spoke to Spice FM in Takrady, and that was on Tuesday night, I believe. And this is what he said regarding Chris Hughton, practically saying that his expectations have not been met and the work that remains to be done is quite huge. Listen.
We think that there's a lot of work to be done. Well, because we had a lot of expectations about Chris Hughton and his team made up of Dudu Dramani and Boateng, and Olele. And we believe that based on the fact that they've been around the team for a while and all that, they could hit the ground running. We're not too happy. We think that there has to be a lot of improvements. It's pretty obvious that there are a lot of improvements that have to be made, and we also don't have all the time in the world, so we need to be acting fast.
We don't have time. He said we need to act fast. So improvements have to come, and they have to come fast. In other words, Hughton doesn't have a lot of time. You've heard that, and these are 3 top officials of the Ghana Football Association. I am not here to say or make suggestions that it's a coordinated effort. And they could be expressing, and actually we should clarify that they were expressing these opinions in their independent capacities. Randy Abe is an ESCO member. He's clearly, you heard him in the voice. He says his expectations were huge. So far, they've not been met. The work that remains to be done is huge. Marcus says he's not being impressed. Aminu Shadow says we need longevity. So the question ultimately is, what are we doing here? He's only been in charge for 3 games.
How do you determine when somebody is speaking in his capacity as an individual or when somebody is speaking in his capacity as a worker of the Football Association? Because you just said that Dr. Randy Abe was speaking in his individual capacity, but how do you differentiate that from where you sit? So
that's the point. Because he spoke alone, the only judgment we can form is that he was speaking in his individual capacity. No. That's the only judgment. No. But that is the only practical judgment.
But do you have an idea what might have happened behind the scenes before he went public?
Because I don't know exactly. Because I don't know that.
No.
I can only say what I know. And what I know is
the only clarity would be on what portfolio did that radio station call him?
As an ESCO member.
If they call you as an ESCO member and you speak anything Ghana Football Association on that platform,
you're not speaking as an
you're not speaking as Dr. Randy Abe. No. They didn't call you to ask you about Pando Heart of Lions.
That's fair enough.
They didn't call you to ask you about the next election. Would you contest or not? They're asking you about Ghana football. You're an ESCO member.
That's fair.
You see, should I
Yeah, no, go on.
yes,
No.
go.
You've established the grounds that it is difficult to conclude that it was an individual.
Yes.
offense. And I'm saying that that's fair enough.
And you see, and everything they've said is handsome and beautiful, but it only implicates them.
How?
Thank you. All right. Now, what Aminu Shadow said, if I say it, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
If you say it, as a broadcaster, as a journalist, there's nothing wrong with it. When he says it, it doesn't matter
How well he meant.
how he puts it.
Yeah.
When he says it, because of the position that he holds and the fact that he works closely with the coach, because the coach has to give you his selection, he has to give you his starting 11, those who will be on the bench, those who have been left out. He even has to send the players he's called up to you, the team. You do a lot of work.
Yeah.
But the fact that you work closely with him, probably he shouldn't have said it, because once you say that, then the capacity as the team manager of the Black Stars pings up in the minds of people. And that's why people are saying, how do you expect Chris then to feel comfortable working with you? I absolutely know what Aminu Shadow was trying to communicate. But you see, he probably couldn't differentiate, or he probably didn't realize that as a team manager, once he speaks, people will read through, or people will listen to what he said through the lenses of the voice of the team manager.
True.
And he says that, for longevity's sake, had they kept Otowado, blah blah blah,
we would have been at a better place.
it is all well and possibly true. No one can tell, of course. You can be there 10 years and still flop.
Yeah.
And this is why it implicates they themselves, the GFA, because before Otowado would become the Black Stars coach, Chris Hughton was available.
True.
We all knew at some point that Otto was not going to stay post the World Cup. In fact, he had made that clear. And before Otto became the caretaker of the Black Stars, he was a part-time assistant coach to Milo. Dr. Randiabe was part of those who were tasked to go and find a new manager to replace CK. Yep. They came back with the name of Milo. And they came back with the suggestion of making Otto, and at the time Otto and Maxwell Kunedu.
They were the assistants.
Otto missed out on the AFCON because he was a part-time job. His primary job won't release him to be there at the AFCON, remember?
True story.
So if you are considering longevity, and you are considering that if you have a man there for a period, it is good for the team, knowing what we knew pre the World Cup, that Otto wasn't going to be there, it didn't make any sense then that the president of the FA and those who went after Otto went to pick Otto. Yes. Because quite clearly, after the World Cup, we would have to restart with another coach. It turns out that coach is Chris. Yeah. So if you had the whole knowledge that time no day, we have to qualify for the AFCON, there will be World Cup. If we have a manager who stays long enough, it will be good for the team. Why did you go for Otowado?
In fact, Chris was in Ghana when they were flying to Germany.
That is what I'm saying. That before Otto became manager, Chris was here.
Doesn't it, and you make a very good point.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feed into the perception that perhaps changing the coach wasn't their idea, and that if it was left to them alone, they would have kept Otto?
No. They couldn't have kept Otto because Otto. It was clear that Otto wasn't going to leave Dortmund for Ghana. Anything else is emotions. If you think, Otto would have enjoyed staying in Ghana if we won the war, all of those are.
So you're saying that they already subscribed to the short-sightedness the moment they committed to Otto?
No, we knew. Even Otto said it when he was leaving the job that he had already said that he won't continue irrespective of the results at the World Cup. And I was at the press conference at the team hotel of the Black Stars when Otto made those declarations. And I even asked him a question: that coach, you took this job on a part-time. Do you think, on hindsight, that if you had a job on full-time, you'd have better prepared this team? He said, well, maybe, but maybe his family would have suffered a lot of things. We didn't answer the question, but that's... So we knew that there will be no longevity with Otto. Now, this is where I've been saying this for 2 years.
Okay.
That we have a very young squad, and we have a perfect opportunity of preparing the team for this AFCON. Yeah. And if you like, for the World Cup that is ahead. Otto we knew was going to go, so he's gone. We had to bring in another coach in Chris Hughton. Now, we brought in Hughton, who's been here for 3 games. And I'll be honest, when all of them say that they are not impressed with the brand of football, I agree. But I don't think the solution to the way we will play is only about the coach. Because we've changed Kwesi Appiah. We brought in CK. We brought in Milo. We brought in Otto. There is Chris. What makes you think that all of the problems you are facing is coaching. Maybe it's time. So you see, they've been in office, Dr. Randy Abe, George Amakun, Keto Kreku. They've been in office for like 4 years. And they've said that they've
had 5
overachieved.
coaches, by the way.
Yeah, they are saying that they've overachieved in their term of office because when they took over the GFA, it was at its all-time low. Post Anas.
So really, anything else is an achievement.
Good. Why don't you
we're
also
at the bottom of the bottom?
Why don't you also push the same energy to Chris Hughton? When at the time we took over the Black Stars, we were at our all-time low. We are going to the AFCON, had a disastrous AFCON. We went to the World Cup, we exited in the first round. Like, our football hasn't been good. So if you are saying you've overachieved because when they took over the FA 4 years ago, we were at our all-time low, what should the manager who's been who's been in charge of the team for only 3 games also say? So yes, if you guys deserve time to work, back the manager and give him
you're
time.
even asking for a second tenure.
Yes. If you need a second tenure to continue your good work, what makes you think the coach who's been here for only 3 games doesn't need time? And the truth is,
well, to be fair, none of them has said that he doesn't need or require the time.
no, they've not also said that he requires it or need it. They are saying they want the results now.
They said we don't have time.
And that is my problem. That is my problem. So you're not even telling us that, oh yeah, we are not impressed with what we've seen, but we need to put a lot of things in place. We need to do this. We need time. Because when you begin to speak this way, you're telling all Ghanaians that the coach has to start delivering now.
Yeah.
When in truth, you have to tell all Ghanaians that our team needs a lot of work for it to get to the level we want. And that is where you measure, engage expectations. So for me, it's almost as if they are not backing the coach enough in public. If Chris feels like he's not being backed by the people he's working with enough, it is justified. If you're not happy with something, there are things you can say publicly, but there are things that you have to tell the coach to the face and leave it out of the public space.
True.
So that you can
especially in that capacity as an
ESCO
ESCO member. You have access to the coach.
Yes. You get it. And that is where my problem is. So I think they have to work together as a collective. Give the coach what he needs. The coach doesn't have a psychologist. The coach lacks so many things.
Yeah.
Since he came, you've not been able to organize one friendly. He's been here since January.
And there were opportunities.
Or since February or
March.
He's been here since March. You've not been able to give him one single
And there were
friendly game.
opportunities, you
And there
have
were
to say.
windows where you could have given him that
Yeah.
to try his hands on things. So you've not done your part of the job, but you want to blame the coach for not doing his job fully. So I think, Charlie, some way.
Daniel, is there an aspect of it that is justified though? Because he's played 3 games. He's won 1. We haven't qualified for the AFCON yet. And with those 3 matches, to be fair, if the results were better, we would have qualified for the AFCON by now. He's failed to deliver on that. The football, like Sitsofe said, the brand of football hasn't been impressive. So if anybody says, I haven't been impressed with the coach, well, is there not some truth in that?
They hired him, right?
Yeah, presumably.
Yeah. So they know his track record.
Yes.
Mention one team that Chris Hughton has played or has managed that has played an exciting brand of football.
His Newcastle were good. His
They were
Brighton
good,
not so much.
not
Newcastle in
exciting.
Championship. The Newcastle in Championship was decent.
So if you know the guy's brand of football, you know his philosophy, and then you hire him, and then
Is it just that though? What about the results?
no, that's I'm speaking to George Amarco's criticism of his style.
Yeah.
It has no basis. You don't hire Pep Guardiola and tell him to come and play defensive football. Then you don't know what you want. You need to know what you want and bring in somebody who can get you what you want. So that's a non-starter. But my point is, I'm actually very happy that the GFA, they have standards. I'm happy, and then this is in the spirit of keeping the same energy. I'm happy that they can look at these Black Stars and tell themselves that they are not happy. Because then it means that they have a certain standard that they expect the Black Stars to be at. I'm only disappointed that they didn't criticize themselves when our under-20s failed to qualify for the AFCON. We're just kicked out of the WAFU group stages.
Yeah. Cote d'Ivoire won it yesterday.
Yeah. I'm also quite disappointed that they didn't criticize themselves when our under-17s hosted the WAFU and we also failed to qualify from the group stages.
Yeah.
That one, we didn't hear anything. I'm also quite disappointed that when our
Even though
under-17s were banned for age cheating.
Yeah.
We still hadn't had an
maidens.
official. Yeah, the maidens. We still haven't had
For choking.
Charlie,
No
an
consequences.
official publication to even tell us whether it's true or not. It's CAF who told us. The GFA hasn't up to now. They've
Yeah.
not told us anything. They didn't criticize themselves for that. They didn't criticize themselves when the Black Queens failed to qualify for the women's AFCON.
And then the Black Satellites went
And the Black
as
Satellites
defending
too.
champions
And they were
to Niger.
good.
Yes.
All those ones they've not seen. But it's Chris Hutton's 3 games.
No, wait, Daniel, don't go there yet.
I've not even finished.
Add AFCON. When we
AFCON.
finished bottom, didn't win a game.
We didn't win a game.
You know who Keto Kreku blamed? He said we have Messi.
They say if we have Messi and Ronaldo.
So it's not the coach's
But-
fault. That time it wasn't the coach's fault.
And you see, that particular statement, it pained me.
Yeah.
Because had Kate told me, knowing my relationship with Cristiano, I just would have called him to come and play for Ghana.
My friend, be serious.
No, it's true.
Akwaiba.
No, my point is we can all choose to be silly if we want to be silly.
That part is true.
It's true. You
Because
finish.
to be fair, that was quite a cynical comment.
Yeah.
You were bottom of the group, the worst ever AFCON performance. After
And that
telling
was
us
sniding the players. So that was
Yes.
telling us that we don't have
we
good
don't
players.
have good players. They
Today
are
he says
sham.
it's coaching.
Now it's a coach's problem. It's Chris Hutton's 3 matches that you can see. So me, my own is, if you are piling pressure on Chris Hutton, sack yourself first for all the failures of the past. Oh no, it's true because you set standards.
Yeah.
You know what is nice, you know what is good, and you know what is not good. So since you are telling us that Chris Hutton must improve, but you have overachieved, there's sort of a disconnect somewhere. So go back and go and check again.
The
And
standard
then
is not
sack yourself.
standardizing.
It's not standardizing. So sack yourself. You understand? When they said they should Black Stars, the poor showing at the AFCON, no, they did reshuffling.
Yeah.
Maintain that same silly committee and then put different people. The silly concept of a committee for different national teams.
Even though there was a massive recommendation from a
Against
subcommittee during NS
against it.
normalization saying that scrap management
it.
committees. No, they
But
won't
they
do it.
thought it wise. And it's good for them.
Yes.
It is job for the people. How
Yes.
do you
Thank
scrap
you.
it?
So go back and then check per the standards that you are measuring Chris Hutton's performance so far on. Use it also to measure yourself.
Yeah.
And if Chris Hutton needs to improve, then maybe you need to improve. If there's no time, and if Chris Hutton doesn't take care where we are going, you remove him. You to sack yourself
Interesting.
and then come back.
That's right. Muftawu, you get the last bite on this.
I don't know whether you will have to ask me a question. I'm just
I
going to
don't
talk.
know. That's why I say you have a last bite on this because I really don't want us to drag this. But my personal opinion is I just feel like, and Sitsofe is absolutely right. I think perhaps the conversation can be had because I personally cannot say I have been impressed. It's been 3 games, but nobody who has watched those 3 matches will say to themselves, including everybody listening right now, that they have been impressed. But also it's early days yet. And I'm saying that the GFA members, they have a right
Did we
to
give ourselves a window to tell Chris Hutton that this is what we want to see? Did we ever create such a window
at
for
least
him?
not publicly.
And I'm not too certain that anyone expected Chris Hutton to start playing a Pep Guardiola kind of football in 3 matches. This is a man who hasn't had opportunity of even working with players for more than 3 days before a game. The first game against Angola, how many days did he have to prepare? The second leg and the game against Madagascar. How many days were the players available for Chris Hutton to prepare them before these games? And the funny thing, actually, for me, is that when people begin to make comments like this, it fuels into the minds of the general public that the FA are horrible when it comes to communicating to us. They keep raising standards they know very well that they themselves cannot even meet. If the FA is to be very honest with themselves, they will tell us that maybe we have a 5-year plan, we have a 10-year plan to win the African Cup of Nations. We are going to give the coach 4 years, 5 years contract and believe in whatever he's going to bring on board. If we win the African Cup before that, it's a bonus. But we want to be able to win the Africa Cup within the next 5 years. when you speak like this to Ghanaians and to the fan base of the senior national team, then we would follow and appreciate that you have a plan for the national team.
Yeah.
But if you come and tell us that within 3 games, 270 minutes of football, you are expecting some kind of football from the head coach, and when you fail and Ghanaians rise, then you go that Ghanaians are not patient enough. That's one thing I always struggle to accept, because you are the very person who is raising our hopes. You keep raising the hopes of Ghanaians that we've got a team. When we went to Cameroon for the AFCON, the president never lost an opportunity to tell us that we were here to win. Then when we came back, in fact, after that opening game against Morocco, he granted an interview and said, our vision to win the AFCON has not changed. We are here to win it.
After the first one.
After the first
Which
game
was a
against
defeat.
Morocco. Yes. And the next game was supposed to be against Gabon.
Who said it?
The GFA president.
But recently at Congress, he said that it was his hope that we were going to bring the AFCON, the
Yeah,
World
he
Cup.
expected that we were going
To
to
go to
win.
win the World Cup. That's what he said.
So if the president himself tells us this, right? And when we fail and come back, you would ask a question, a cynical question for that matter. If we have Messi or Ronaldo, let me know. I'll let them call him to the team. For real? The comments that Aminu made, I'm sure Aminu will be the first person to admit that based on the position he occupies, he
Should
shouldn't
not
have said it.
that.
Yes, Aminu will be the first person to admit it. But I think that sometimes when you find yourself in certain areas, there are certain comments you don't have to make. Aminu made a comment. 2 executive council members have actually said same
In the same week.
in the same week.
Where there's no Black Stars game.
In fact, it buttresses the point many people made that, and like Sitsofe was saying, if you knew very well that you were not going to have auto post World Cup, you were very sure that after the World Cup you had to start all over with a new man in charge. Chris was here in February 2022. In fact, funny enough, I don't know what I was doing on the internet. I came across the story I published on the appointment of Milovan River. Sike Akuna was sacked on 13th September, and the following day, which was a Tuesday, 14th September, that was when we published that they had contacted Milovan River to come for the job because they were given 3 days to find a coach.
Yeah. There was a subcommittee that was put together
Yes,
for that purpose.
Macado, Randy Abe, and Salif Zida.
Yes, yes.
Macado, Randy Abe, and Salif. These were the 3 members of that committee who were tasked to hire the coach.
They brought in Rahiva.
Yes,
and they defended him to the moon.
Oh, yes,
They brought him
every
and
single
gave
thing.
him Otoado as a part-time assistant, gave him Maxwell Kunodo as a part-time assistant. Well, yeah.
And the funny thing,
So
actually,
now
in that window,
their defense of Rahiva makes sense now. It does mean that was their decision, so they stood by it. The fact that they are now
so
means that perhaps
okay, so like I'm saying, it buttresses the point that
Whoa.
many people actually made that we never wanted Chris Hughton. And in fact, I had the interview with an
wait,
EXCO member.
hold on. Who never wanted Chris
The
Hughton?
GFA never wanted Chris Hughton. It's not a
But-
hidden secret.
But it's their coach now.
I'm just telling you, it is not a hidden secret.
So how do you hire somebody you don't want?
Why was he offered a
don't
1-year
agree.
contract?
Huh?
I'm not going to mention the name of the person who actually asked them to increase the contract to 21 months.
Wait,
I'm not-
hold on, Muftawu. You are giving too much information at the same time. Back up a little bit. You are telling me,
The
first
GFA
of all,
never
that
wanted Chris
the
Hughton.
GFA didn't want Chris
They
Hughton.
never wanted Chris Hughton.
That's one.
Yes.
2, you are saying as a result of that, initially they wanted to offer
They
him a
offered
12
him
month.
a 1-year contract. And in fact, when
And
the
somebody
contract-
asked them to make it
when
21
the
months.
contract was submitted,
The paymaster.
they were like, but Wafa, you're giving them a 1-year contract. What is he going to do with a 1-year contract? And the contract was even going to expire when we are going into the AFCON.
Wait.
That was the contract that was being offered to Chris Hughton.
Wait, his contract was supposed to expire in December.
And just around the time we are going to
2023.
around the time we are going into the AFCON.
And would have gone to AFCON with a new coach.
And guess
Yeah.
what? Hey, they did delay
Coach that would have found
they
in
did
3
delay
days.
tactics. And the contract was signed. In fact, the contract was signed the day
I love this country.
Christian Achu was going to be buried. That was the day Chris Hughton signed his contract.
Oh, the day I was following you about, no?
That was the very day. When he left the place, he went straight to the GFA secretary and signed his contract.
Interesting.
That was the day Chris Hughton signed his contract.
Remember now, me and Juliet were following you everywhere.
Assistant coaches.
In fact-
Your lobby to assistant coaches.
they were doing Takashi. That's what actually delayed his appointment.
I see.
Because one, Chris Hughton was not happy with the 1-year contract.
Of course.
And two, the people who are going to pay said, come on, 1-year contract you're giving to this man. It can't even do anything. And in fact, I had a conversation with.
So the non-football people knew that 1-year contract wasn't enough.
Yes. But
the football people said.
But the football people said 1 year was enough.
They are going to give him 1 year
And
contract.
the same football people are the ones who also want longevity.
They are the very people who want longevity for a head coach.
For the
So
same people who just see the part-time coach was not going to stay.
Yeah. Essentially, what Muftawu is saying is that the commentary now does not help the perception
Exactly.
that they
really
probably
want
don't
Chris.
like this
They
man.
probably
or they
don't like
want-
Chris.
Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't help it.
I mean, the point is very well made.
And just to sign it out pretty quick, when these things happen,
Okay.
right? What kind of relationship do you want to have with the head coach? Who is in charge?
Because I can imagine when Amini shows up to
To the next assignment of the Black Stars.
and looks at Chris Hughton in the face,
And
if
looks
he's
Chris
not
Hughton in the
already
face.
met him,
Imagine
that would be
George
awkward.
Amwaku
Mm.
and Randy Abe before the coach. What sort of relationship do you want to build with him? That's horrible. And guess what? When George Amwaku was management committee chairman of the Black Stars, what sort of performance did you see from the Black Stars when Sika Akuno was in charge? In fact, he stood in South Africa and said it was over for Sika Akuno after that defeat. And then we
So
came
he
back.
does have a reputation.
But it wasn't over for him.
And funny enough, there's certain things sometimes
Yeah.
because they are privileged things you are told, it's difficult to put them on record. You, George Amwako, was seated at a meeting when you people were presented with a Black Star squad, right? And guess what transpired? 2 players' names were taken out of the squad
This was under CK.
under CK and replaced with certain players.
Is that knowledge of the coach?
He was
Wait,
there.
wait. Could the coach brought his
He
list?
couldn't, the coach brought his look. They told him,
And they
take this
said,
one
take
out,
the-
and take this one out and bring this guy. Take this one too out and bring this guy.
That's right.
And guess what? After those changes were made, there was a selection. Sometimes it's funny. And sometimes there's certain things you're
Filler
not supposed
man.
to say.
Give
It
the
is-
filler.
Drop it!
It is really funny because some of these things, sometimes
They don't
go,
help the team.
They go back blaming people thinking that they are those who gave it out. But funny enough, see, I was meant to understand that there was a point CK Akuno was naming his squad. They wanted Fliman Baffo to play.
You mean not just being in the squad?
Do you recall the game Accra House of Focus Fatah Mohammed played?
That was
Yeah,
in South
South
Africa.
And he said
Where
the-
he saw the empty seat
empty
and was
stadium.
He
scared.
said it was so big. In fact, Fliman Baffo was supposed to play. Guess what? When CK Akuno announced his lineup, he told them he has problem with this position.
Oh,
He said he has problem with this position.
who said he had problems?
CK told them he has problem with this position. So please, let's share ideas. Help me fix this position.
Right
Eh,
back.
The right back.
Wait, Siko was talking to the management committee.
Oh, relax. He's telling them, Abi, when I name a lineup, you want to have a say on who plays. So he told them, oh, this is my lineup, but this position.
And Muftawu, you know this how? You were there?
You want me to go into detail? I'm not going into detail.
Don't
I'm
disclose your sources.
I'm wrapping up on George Amwaku. This.
So it's not a perception that they influence selection.
It is
This
not
is
a perception. In the
This
end,
is evidence you're providing.
in
No,
the
but this one also
in
seems
the
like the
end-
coach too went to ask. If you
in
are the
the
coach,
end-
you
That's the point.
So if you are confused, coach, they'll help you. If you are
No,
sure,
no,
they'll not help you.
it is not. It is even funny. It is even funny. In the end,
Uh-huh.
he made a decision of who should play. Guess what transpired? When they were asking him, who did you put inside? He said, no, he's going to play Fatah Isaku the hard boy. He said, yeah, correct.
Fatah Mohammed.
Fatah
Yeah,
Mohammed.
Fatah Mohammed.
Let Isahaku rest. His
said-
name has suffered
Him
enough.
left. Yeah. You want
Who's giving him the thumbs up?
you want Fliman Baffo to play. Charlie, it's funny.
Interesting.
It's funny. And you are here.
Well,
If he was the management committee chairman, would he blame Chris Hughton?
maybe, because George Amwaku is quite a firebrand, isn't he? He talks quite a lot. But I think this conversation, the bottom line, the conclusion is clear. Let's be mindful of our words, especially if you occupy certain positions. At the moment, it doesn't seem right for management committee members or high executive council members to pile the kind of pressure they're doing on Chris Hughton. There's already a narrative that Chris Hughton wasn't the choice of the GF. And comments like this after only 3 games do not help that narrative. So
Gary mentioned something here.
Yeah.
Was it the first 2-3 episodes where he said that, let's wait, a point will come, people will begin to rush at Chris Hughton and talk about how the FA never wanted him, and then there will be loads of pressure and all that. I don't know if anyone recalls that.
No.
Gary mentioned it here.
Yeah, Gary said it.
No. And we are at that stage already.
We are at that stage already.
No, I'm just going to say, though, that one thing is clear. The Ghana Football Association, the only way they can really become independent and start to make their own decisions regarding the coaching is when they get to a point where they're able to pay their coaches themselves. Until then, they would just become puppets. And basically, this is what goes through all of our youth system, because there are even coaches who coach in some of our youth national teams who were not the decisions of the Ghana Football Association. And people cannot be tasked to be managing football when they don't have the capacity to appoint who takes charge of a certain national team. And that exactly is why it is very difficult when a coach fails to lay the blame right in front of the coaches. For example, the Chris Hughton situation, if he fails, it is very difficult for you to entirely say it's the GFA's fault. So the Ghana Football Association, if you have all the money to do all the things that you're doing, you have to also get to a point where you can hire and pay your own coach. And then from then on, you can then move to the point where you're able to fund all of the national teams, because some FAs do it. And that is the standard all around the world. And that's how you can truly become independent. At the moment, that particular cocktail of one is paying, one is appointing, it's not working. It certainly isn't working for our football. And that's why we have all the problems that we have at the moment. But it's the situation. And it's a situation that we knew before we took power. And I'm talking about those in power now. It's been the arrangement for a really long time. It has brought us success. And so we are at liberty to demand success given the same conditions still exist. So you have to find a way to make it work. The blame game doesn't work. Ultimately, the Ghanaian football fan suffers. We're the ones investing our emotions and our money, I dare say, because the national team is funded by our taxes. All right, 055-111-1997. This is Game Plan on Joe 99.7. We'll take a very quick break. When we come back, we're going straight to Europe, where, of course, we'll be talking about all of the transfers that have been happening, and quite a lot of transfers have been happening in the last few days. Andre Onana being the biggest of them, of course. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.
Yambon continent Koyachi, if it's 1974. I want you in Sampagu, a power so my Edibitu Yahofu, Yedibi Fagan and Yedibisu Chai and Nasi. Over 20 albums, countless tours around the world, and state performance. World, I present to you the Batomat High Life Night. On the 4th of August 2023, the Accra International Conference Center will come alive with the High Life legend, Batomat. Come and experience style and dexterity for over 49 years in music. Smash hits like Okon for Body, Yamuja, Mewase, Jaisu, Miwakuma, and many more. Other artists supporting Patamas on the night will be Kojo Enchi, Ohinibakisi, Amantiba, Ambule, Kwabina Kwabna, Akwabwa, KK Fosu, Ochami Kwame, Kwame Yuji, and other surprise acts. Tickets are going out for Standard 300, VIP 500, and VIP Double 800. Ticket outlet Frankie Sosu, Nalem Clothing, Akramo, Total Energy, Patronas Sphincters, Alisa Hotel, Ray, Grand Casamora, East Legon. Get your tickets online at vtickets.com. Star 713 star 101 hash. Event code 12. For inquiry and sponsorship, please call 0592-919-122 or 0593-433-422.
Hits 103.9 FM, the official mouthpiece of tertiary institutions, brings you the Hits Tertiary Show. Friday, 21st July 2023, the Hits Tertiary Show stops at the Ghana Communications Technology University in Tesano. Join us as we interact, socialize, and have fun live on Hits 103.9 FM. There'll be loads of fun and entertainment as we deliberate on issues bothering students live on radio. Which tertiary institution do you represent? Watch out for the Hits Tertiary at a campus near you. For enquiries, call 0540 106 467 or 0559 691 797. Go ahead and follow us on social media platforms with the hashtag HitsTertiary. Hits Tertiary is brought to you by Hits 103.9 FM and partnered by Ghana Communications Technology University, sponsored by Access Bank. More than banking. Unidus Long Love Condoms. Certain moments should last longer. Niche Confectionery. A taste of Ghana. The third edition of the Showbiz Roundtable will be happening on 29 July 2023 at the Labadi Beach Hotel. The theme for this Thought Leadership Forum is Exploring the Dynamics of Sponsorship in the Creative Space. On the panel will be founder of 3 Music Television and Wonderland Festival, Baba Sadiq. Lateef Abubakar is playwright and CEO of Glow Productions. Regina Ofuri, brand director and consummate marketer. Ivan Kwashiga is filmmaker, creative director and founder of Farmhouse Productions. And Kobna Atabedu, procurement expert and management consultant. Keynote speakers are Anklebe White, who is playwright and an author. Bright Latepo, CEO of PhD Media Ghana Limited. This forum will be live on Joy 99.7 FM at 2 p.m. and hosted by Kwame Datsi. Showbiz Roundtable is powered by Joy Entertainment.
The Multimedia Group, through Joy Sports and Insura Sports, presents a half-year thought leadership event under the theme Fill GPL Centers, the Challenge and the Solutions. Date, Monday, July 31, 2023. Venue, Labadi Beach Hotel. Time, 6 p.m. prompt. This climaxes an 8-week survey on reasons why the fans are not filling the spectator stands for Ghana Premier League games. This will be the biggest brainstorming session ahead of the much-awaited 2023-24 Ghana Premier League season. It will draw participation from all relevant bodies and industry experts within the football family. This includes the leadership of the Ghana FA, the Ghana League Clubs Association, BFAG, sponsors, supporters unions, the Sports Writers Association of Ghana, and retired as well as active footballers. Fill GPL Centers, the Challenge and the Solutions on July 31 will be live on the Joy News channel and Joy 99.7 FM. Let's come together and help fill GPL Centers. This is an Insura Sports initiative powered by Joy Sports, Joy News, and Joy 99.7 FM.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Welcome back. This is Game Plan on Joy 99.7 FM. Also streaming live on the Joy FM YouTube channel. That's the only place it's streaming. Joy YouTube. And also on Twitter Spaces. All right. I've got messages here. Quite a lot of them. The hashtag is Game Plan on Twitter. The WhatsApp number is 055-111-1997. I'll read them shortly. But who's your guy? I mean, your only G for life, the one who's got your back. Guess what? The rains are here again. And your reliable partner for quality plastic products in Ghana, West Africa, and Central Africa, Duraplast Ghana Limited says, let's leave no chance to water storage. Get Water Tank, the only water storage tank with water level indicator to let you know the accurate water you have available. At Duraplast Limited, precision is a virtue we trust most, hence our consistency in providing you with quality PVC and HDPE pipes for accurate and excellent plumbing or electrical works, including drainage pipes from free flow of water without implosive blockages. And when we say it's 5,000 liters, then my brother, it's 5,000 liters. We don't cheat you. Okay, that's why I love Duraplast. Just call them to the 0242-818-874. 0242-818-874 for your water tank and other plastic pipe products. Locate us at plot number 10, 11, and 12 Dadiban Road, North Industrial Area, Accra North. That's where we are. Or locate a distributor close to you for your authentic Duraplast products. Water tank, what a tank. Remember, where Duraplast goes, water flows. And you heard the Showbiz Roundtable there. The third edition is coming up. It will be happening on the 29th of July at Labadi Beach Hotel. The theme for this year's Thought Leadership Forum is exploring the dynamics of sponsorship in the creative space. On the panel will be Baba Sadiq, founder, 3 Music TV and Wonderland Festival. Latif Abubakar, playwright and CEO of Glow Productions. Regina Ofori, brand director and encouragement marketer. Ivan Kwashiga, filmmaker, creative director and founder of Farmhouse Productions. Obuna Atabedu, procurement expert and management consultant. The keynote speakers are Uncle Ebo White, who's a playwright and author. Bright Lejepo, CEO at PhD Media Ghana Limited. Come meet the connoisseurs of the tourism, culture and creative industries to share ideas on progressive conversations. This forum will be live on Joy 99.7 at 2 p.m. and hosted by Kwame Daze. Showbiz Roundtable is brought to you by Showbiz Z, A to Z, and powered by Joy Entertainment. His tertiary is also here. It's on Friday, 21st July 2023. That's today. Today. His tertiary stops at the Ghana Communication Technology University at Tesano. Join us. Let's socialize and have fun with the students at 2 p.m. live on Hits 103.9 FM. It's ongoing right now. Right now. Which tertiary institution do you represent? Watch out for the His tertiary campus at the campus near you. You can call 050-106467 or 055-9-691-797. It's brought to you by Ghana Communications Technology University and sponsors by Access Bank, Unidas Long Love Condoms, and Niche Confectionery. Also, let me tell you this. Big Chef is here. It's live on Joy Prime. The kitchen has no boundaries. The Big Chef is back, and this time it's the maiden edition of the tertiary version. 6 tertiary institutions, each represented by 3 contestants. You have to come to this cook battle for the bragging rights and cash prize and lots of products from sponsors for the schools and themselves. Which of the schools are you an alumni of? Which of them are you rooting for? Takrady Technical University, Cape Coast Technical University, Accra Technical University, or the whole one, or the Cove Town one, or the Kumasi one? Which school will emerge the ultimate winner of the maiden edition of Big Chef Tertiary? It shows every Sunday 5 p.m. on Joy Prime and repeat on Tuesdays 11 a.m. and Thursdays 3 p.m. This Chef Tertiary is proudly sponsored by Frital Cooking Oil, Fortune Rice, Syntex Tank, Nisk Chocolate Drink, Access Bank, and You Fresh. Big Chef Tertiary, the kitchen has no boundaries. Joy Prime, the ultimate experience. And did you know you can pause and reverse live TV on your HD Plus decoder at no extra fee? Simply connect a USB flash drive with a capacity of 4 GB or more to your HD Plus decoder and have control over your TV viewing. Also schedule your HD Plus decoder to record live or upcoming shows and catch up on your favorite shows in HD at your own time. This is world-class TV viewing. Purchase an HD Plus decoder from the nearest Electroland showroom or multi-TV dealer outlet nationwide. Visit hdplus.com.gh or call 0242-439-872 for more details. HD Plus, the Feely experience. All right, guys. Let's talk about Onana. Daniel Koranteng, you have been very, very excited regarding, of course, the transfer of Andre Onana. I'm very disappointed that they actually didn't use the Rihanna song, Oh Nana, for the unveiling. I'm sure it's because of the amount of money they have to pay.
They have to pay. They don't have money.
They don't have money. Anyway, let me read some messages.
They don't have money.
Yeah, who? Man United. I thought they had. I thought you said you had cash.
Oh, this particular period.
No money.
They don't have money.
They
have to pay. You see, again, they should just have called me, knowing my relationship with
Riri.
I just Riri of late her phone, so I'll just call ASAP.
That's right.
Call ASAP.
And then
yo, my guy.
You no, hold on. You call ASAP, and then Rihanna will respond ASAP.
You know? No, it's funny.
Morrison says, "Friend, we are listening live from Germany, Dortmund," and you say, "Shouts to our darling boy Daniel Koranteng." Interesting. Chris is under pressure already. Hey, Ghana to Wideo. Eben from Suhum with that message. This one is from Ni Tojo in Tema, who says, Ni says Ghana sports is on a downward trend. Okay. And then he says, Ghana sports is on a downward trend. Let's tackle the issues head on and stop the hypocrisy. Ghanaians must wake up. More messages here. This one says, I'm listening live from Nyankpala Campus, UDS, and you said game plan is fire. That's Kwesi Amwako. Noturi says, we don't have any plans, long-term or short-term. Have any policy or plan. Get your research and players chosen without any factor from those in power. Pushing the investment we need as a country into a level of football. Thank you. All right, interesting. Somebody said I should allow Muftawu to expose them. I'm sure he's done. Afisu Akologo.
I could have said more.
He says, in fact, the Black Queens are now doing better than the Black Stars. Hard to debate that. That's a factus. Maxwell Appear says, joke of administration said, what have they done to prove they are competent? They should step down. I think we can stop calling people names. This one says, okay, Kwesi Amwako's message. I'll read more messages a little later. But let's get to the Onana conversation. Daniel, I mean, we this is probably like the worst kept secret in the world. Man United have been pursuing for a long time. They finally have the man. Surely now, United must be winning the league because there's no excuse. He sacked David De Gea. You go and bring Onana. He was in the Champions League final. He is the guy that has worked under the Eric Ten Hag before. He's the man that they absolutely wanted. He's got him now. He's joined the team in the US already. So all good, I guess.
Oh, but you said it all. No, you see, Fent, we've been made to believe that the problems have all been solved.
That's right.
They've sacked Paul Pogba. Major problem at Man United. They sacked Cristiano Ronaldo.
Major
problem at Man United.
He got an interview.
They've stripped the captaincy of Maguire and relegated him to sixth choice. Major problem at Man United. They've sacked David De Gea, who was the reason why Man United conceded all their goals last season. Major problem. And they've solved the issues. Onana, world-class goalkeeper. You look at Lisandro Martinez, world-class centre-back. Anthony, 100 million. The most gifted winger in the world of football today.
The futsal player.
Mason Mount, the best midfielder in the Premier League for the past 3 seasons.
65 million pounds.
65 million. And Rasmus Højlund, he's coming soon. The brightest young talent in Syria. So Man United definitely next season, if you look at their position last season, third. Next season, nothing less. It's either maintain the third or you are hitting second or first or properly challenge for the league title. But Enfa, it won't happen.
Why wouldn't it happen?
It won't happen.
Pep is there.
Why wouldn't it happen?
Because I said beans.
Because Ten Hag has come and Ten Hag has bought in fact, all the signings Ten Hag has made, they have all come from the Dutch football system. So he has no excuse. Let's count them. Eriksen.
I mean, take Casemiro out.
Take Casemiro.
Casemiro, all of them.
Eriksen.
Ajax
Onana, boy.
Mason Mount, if you went to Vitesse.
That's right.
Malasia, Anthony. Vegas.
Yes.
All of them.
Even Holland and Ten Hag, I think they share the same agency also.
All of them.
From the same football education that he wanted. That he himself has.
Bogali.
Who are better prepared to play his brand of football.
Everything I said in the past 3 minutes, Enfa. Because everything I said is a lie. It's all a lie.
Oh. Seriously though, why wouldn't it work? Because Man United, in the past, you mentioned it brilliantly, they have said that Maguire was one of their biggest problems. They said De Gea couldn't control the ball. They've now gone for a goalkeeper who is a better passer of the ball than some of the midfielders United have. They signed their own left back. They're signing their own striker. They've signed a midfielder from rivals Chelsea, Champions League winner. Why wouldn't it work?
Tahiru. Patience is a virtue. But when you wait too long, it starts becoming a problem.
Okay, I'm listening.
Man United fans will tell us anytime a new manager comes in, we are rebuilding. How long do we have to wait? When Van Gaal came in, they said they were rebuilding.
Okay.
For 2 seasons, he left. Mourinho came. They said no pressure. They are rebuilding. Mourinho left. Ole came. Ole is the first. In fact, when Ole came, that's when I heard of progress. We are making progress. So if there was progress under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Ten Hag has come, isn't Ten Hag supposed to be completing what Ole started? But Ten Hag is also starting afresh.
No, you should have started from David Moyes.
Oh, Moyes is not part. Friends, there's a structural problem with Man United. And you see, when I say this structure thing, I'm not saying the players they are bringing in are no good. Oh. They are good players.
Okay.
Anthony, I like him. I like Malacia. I like Ericsson. Casemiro is a superstar.
True.
Lisandro Martinez, fantastic player.
Onana.
Mason Mount under the right system, under the right manager, he's a very good player. Onana, I like him, although he can be stubborn, but I still like him.
Still back to the question, why wouldn't it work?
Fint, these players have mentioned, especially the offensive ones. You look at, in fact, I'll even go back to 2 seasons. If you look at Sancho, you look at Anthony, now Onana, all these players thrive in a certain system. If you are not playing in that system, or you are not using elements of that philosophy, they will struggle.
But the coach signed them, so surely.
No, the coach signed Anthony last season, but we saw the brand of football he played last season. It was far from what we know. Because he doesn't have the elements to be able to play that system. And that system starts from the middle. You understand?
Okay.
The heartbeat of that system is from the middle.
I'm listening.
If you don't have a conductor, you can't play possession-centered football. Look across.
United don't have one?
But who is there?
Bruno.
Bruno is not a conductor.
He's a captain.
Pay.
Mason Mount has come. So a midfield 3 of Bruno, Mason Mount, and Casemiro.
That is not the argument. That's not.
What's
the
the issue?
The issue is the type of football, the skill set.
The profile of player required.
Profile of player required to play that football. Look at Arsenal, they have Partey and Jorginho, 2 in that position. Man City have Calvin Phillips, they have Rodri, 2 in that position.
So deep line playmaker, conductor.
Not deep. That is not deep line playmaker per se. Look at what Toni Kroos have. Real Madrid have in Toni Kroos.
Right.
Look what Barcelona have in Busquets. They have. I say Barcelona have. Even what's his name? The one Ten Hag wanted to buy. He said Frankie
De Jong.
So my point is, you see, go back to last season. Ask yourself as a Man United fan, as a Premier League fan, why was Ten Hag so bent on getting Frankie De Jong? Because that player will enable you play the brand of football he wants to play.
He was the key.
He's the key. Or players in his mode. That is the key. Now this is it. You've gone to bring Onana, suggesting that you want to play from the back. If you look at Man United's stats last season, goalkeeping touches, David De Gea had significant amount of touches more than Aaron Ramsdale. But Ramsdale's team keeps possession way better than Man United. Man United was 54% average possession. That's a team that trades possession. That's not a team that
dominates
possession or dominates the ball. You get it? So if you are bringing in a ball-playing goalkeeper in Onana, what is he going to do?
That when your midfield
is struggling to keep the ball, and your midfield is so easily forced back, he will come and collect it and then pass it to the midfield. Then they will bring it back to him. Then he will pass it to the midfield. Then they will bring it back to him. And then they will pass it to the midfield. And then they will bring it back to him.
Maybe he will go long.
He will go long for what?
There's accuracy in his long balls, no?
My point is, you see,
Hoyland will take it down his chest.
Feint.
Knock it down for Mason Mount. Bang, go.
When you have structure, okay, some of these transfers, they follow in terms of priority. That's what I said at the beginning. It's not that the players are not good, though. But
there's
Anthony's
a missing
form,
piece.
Yes, Anthony's form is dependent on the system. Malacia's form is dependent on the system. Sancho is dependent on the system. So when you are bringing in these players, this type of players, especially when you are spending 100 million on a player, when you are spending 75 million on a player, you are bringing him under the assumption that you are going to create that environment for him. But you don't bring them in to be part of it. Then 3-4 seasons later, before you come and bring in the missing piece. That's what I'm saying. You see,
Nana, you're saying that the key to all of United's success basically lies in signing one conductor. And without him,
the key to playing the kind of football that Erik
he intends to play.
Which also feeds into the signings he's making. Is that
and you are convinced in your head that
it's not because convinced in my head. This is factual. Go across.
So you're saying that without that one player, Enfa. Now you could sign that one player. He gets injured for the rest of the season. What happens?
If you are a serious team, that's why I didn't say Arsenal have Jorginho Peo. Arsenal have Jorginho and Partey. They have 2.
Now they've added Rice.
The Rice 2 can do some. Man City have 2. Everybody has 2. That's how you build team.
United have McTominay, Casemiro. I don't get this.
Why are you mentioning the boy's name?
United's midfielders or conductors. Hold on. Conductors.
Man United don't have a conductor. There's a reason why Eriksen was taken from number 10 to come and play that role. It didn't work. So ask yourself, why am Man United not getting that missing? If you don't have that player, you are going to struggle. And we saw it throughout the whole of last season. And you see, there's no difference between what Man United is doing now and what they were doing under Ole, what they were doing under Mourinho, and what they were doing under Moyes until Ferguson.
Okay.
Man United are still under the impression that managers can run everything in modern day football. They can't. It has moved on from then. You can't leave everything to a manager. Mm-hmm. It's not everybody who is Alex Ferguson, who can be a sporting director and can be a manager, can be a coach, can be everything. It's not everybody like that. You get it? Mm-hmm. So you need to make provision for the manager. If you leave transfers to in the hands of him, what has been happening at Man United is what is going to happen again. Okay. Why do you think Man United went for Paul Pogba? Saturday came to tell us that they were buying Fred and number 8 to come and unlock Pogba. Fred, who is like a similar mode in Pogba in terms of role, in terms of offensive 8, has come from Shakhtar, Brazil. The Fred who plays with Casemiro at Brazil is supposed to come to Man U and come and unlock Pogba. It didn't work. And then when Pogba goes, now you go and buy Casemiro to come and unlock who? Fred now.
They are unlocking each other.
No, do you get my point? You see, he needs to follow. And you see, Charlie, this thing, if you're a Man United fan and you look at last season, you can't be comfortable. Yes, it was significant progress from 2 seasons ago. But again, a team that is serious doesn't look and compare just the last 2 years. You finished second before you finished 6th, and now you've reached 3rd. Before you finished second, where were you? Before you finished, it's Man United's this thing is like EKG device. Before they are flat line.
You see, look, I'm trying to reason with you about what you're saying. I just find it a little preposterous that a manager of Ten Hag's caliber would see exactly what would make his system work and be signing all these players without trying to address that problem if he doesn't have an alternative to the way he wants to play. That's my because I feel like given the kind of manager he is, he would already know what he's doing by all these signings, clearly. Because if he's so much needed a Frankie de Jong profile of player, he would have signed one by now.
So many examples, especially in modern day football, to tell you that if you leave things for coaches. Look, somebody can be a brilliant tactician, but somebody can also, like Ragnick. Ragnick knows exactly what to do to get what he wants. If you come in terms of the player recruitment,
yes,
come and put him in front of a team and see what you do. Look at what he did with Man U. But when it comes to advice, he knows exactly what Ten Hag will need. Do you get me? If you look at somebody like Klopp and you read the inner dealings with transfers in Liverpool, the kind of players they've suggested he should go and bring, the kind of players who are doing well at Liverpool today, who Klopp didn't want in the first place.
Yeah.
And then you ask yourself, so if they had left things to him, what would have happened?
Okay.
Look at Man City with Chiki Bergestan and then Pep Guardiola. There are some signings at Man City that were not Pep's idea. It was Chiki. Some, in fact, if you even go back to when Fernandinho was when Pep came and he was looking for that Rodri type player, the first discussion was Arteta's idea. He wanted Jorginho.
Yes.
And Chiki agreed with him, and Pep was forced to also agree. When they went to Jorginho and they had agreed everything, then Sarri goes to Chelsea and calls Georgie.
And he changes his mind.
And you remember, Man City said they were not going to pursue because the guy had broken his word with them. My point is, coaches can't do these things alone. I'm not saying Ten Hag is not smart. Nobody's saying he's not smart.
But you're saying that he's not getting the other perspective that he needs.
And it is very important.
Yeah.
Because with this Onana thing, with Mount, with Bruno, Casemiro, even if you had Eriksen, from what we saw last season, he doesn't have the tools to be able to maintain. You see, Man's inability to maintain possession was also a major fault last season. Not necessarily in terms of just philosophy that Ten Hag wanted to play. It was so easy for teams to put pressure on their backline. Too easy. And if you don't fix that problem, Onana is just coming in. And he's going to have to be a shot stopper of David De Gea's caliber. And we may not necessarily see his ball playing abilities because the system
the ball cries when it comes, he's unable to pass because now he's facing shots and his shot stopping is nowhere near the Gea's ability. So also there's another problem there. Today, you know what? I want to pick phone calls. Sitcho, I don't know. I really don't want to dwell too much on this United thing. I saw the Chelsea team in pre-season.
But no, I have to talk about it. What are you saying?
I said I don't want to dwell on it.
No, that was your problem. You gave him all the time to. So you're supposed to have managed.
Okay.
It's your job.
Okay.
Why are you making your inability to manage your time a problem?
Can you imagine a horrible manager?
The whole studio will do so before.
He said, what are you saying?
Wait.
Fire away.
The whole studio will do so before. If you know you want to spend 2 minutes on Onana, say 30 seconds.
Okay. 2 minutes
How
for
many minutes do I
Onana.
have? Brilliant. Thank you for the
2
time.
minute.
So you could have still said no. You don't give me the time. Man.
Yeah.
Thank you for being flexible.
I am. I've noticed that he's dear to your heart.
Yeah. No, like I like the whole discussion. I think you see, I personally also think that Erik Ten Hag is not your man to lead your transfers, right?
Really?
Even some of the players he's bringing in, you see, there's one thing being the manager of Ajax, and there's one thing being the manager of Man United. Some of the players he's bringing in, you see, Man United, the level is different too. Personally, I don't think Anthony is good enough for Man United. I don't think Malacia is good enough for Man United. I wouldn't even have suggested that a player like Vegas, whether free or loan or by chance, should be anywhere near being a quick fix for Man United. But when you leave these things to managers, they tend to go for players that they feel they can have a quick fix with, or players that they can easily work with. But some of the things that challenges them is if there's a structure that brings players that fits the profile at the level of the club. Are you following? So yeah, I agree on that score.
Okay.
That I don't think. That is why there's no club that he's worked that he's been the one signing players. At Ajax, he wasn't signing players. There's a system that did that. Not to say he won't suggest or he won't be part of the process, but to leave it to him to be the one maybe conducting it, maybe it's a problem. I see why he brings Onana because eventually he would want to play the way he played at Ajax. Maybe not this season. Maybe not fully this season.
Isn't that what Daniel is making? Isn't that the point he's making?
No, but the point is
because the rebuilding, everyday rebuilding.
No, but you can also wait. You can also wait till next 2 seasons before you bring in a goalkeeper that plays the way you want to play, especially if there is one available now. Are you following?
So you're saying that every season get one player that can help you play the system. How many seasons would it take you to get all the players required?
Get one player that improves your team. Now Erik Ten Hag is smart.
Onana improves his team.
He improves his team in the way he wants to play because Onana is comfortable stepping out of his line, which means his back line can be higher up the pitch. With De Gea is terrified of stepping out of his line. He will be in the box. The back line will step up. One easy ball over the top. He can't sweep. Onana can do that better. So it will affect the way Man United plays.
So he pushes them up a little bit.
He pushes them up a little because they are confident that Onana will be comfortable to step off his line.
Okay.
Onana can play some of the passes, whether it sticks or not. He can't play with the ball with his feet. David De Gea is not assured whether he will overkick it, he will underhit it, he will hit it to the for a throw-in or a corner, something. Onana prevents that. So Onana aids in the way Erik Ten Hag wants to play, right? Now, Erik Ten Hag is smart. Last season, he wanted to force his style with the current crop of United players.
Okay.
It backfired in his first 2 games. So what did he do? He reverted to coaching the team as he went. Every single game was almost different. Depending upon the opponent, he picked the style, giving the balls in between the lines or receiving the ball from the back and progressing it, and also intelligent enough to sit in. If he gets a player like Amrabat, it will be a poor man's Frankie de Jong, a poor man's Rodri. Oh no, to be honest, he will do fairly a decent job.
Yeah.
He won't do the Busquets.
Low budget.
Yeah, low budget. Yeah, it will be a low budget. So he knows that at the moment some of the most important players in that row are costing 100 million, 80 million. Look at Rice. Look at Enzo. Look at Caicedo's prize money that Brighton are asking for. These are players that if he had in those positions, it solves the problem that he is iterating.
Why hasn't he pursued them?
He can't buy. He doesn't have the money. He doesn't have the funds. He can't buy.
He bought Anthony for 100 million. United surely don't have.
That's where the problem is. If you leave it to him.
If you leave it to him, you know. So, and even for Anthony, he would have bought Frankie de Jong for that much if Barca were willing to negotiate. Barca were not, so that one is gone.
Okay.
They brought in Casemiro. That one is the Glazers sign. I don't think it's a signing. But the players that fit in that profile, they are so special now that their prize money is going up. So if you bring in Amrabat is, because the point is, even if Onana passes the ball doesn't stick with United. Bruno doesn't keep the ball well. Rashford doesn't keep the ball well. Anthony doesn't. Casemiro doesn't.
Mount.
Messi Mount some way.
McTominay.
Challenge.
So add the first name, please.
Scott.
So
McTominay.
I think with Onana, Man United will play a bit better play in terms of play, a bit better with him than with what they were doing with.
Will that translate to better results?
Possibly, it can.
Fair enough. It can. You've made your point. I've seen the Chelsea team for preseason. This matter is on my heart.
Just give up.
What do you mean give up?
You still have him. It's your feelings. Take.
The reports are that Brighton have rejected a £70 million offer from Chelsea for Caicedo.
Very, very good footballer.
The best thing I have seen so far is watching Brighton to see what Caicedo's face looks like at preseason. He's not smiling, which means that his heart is at Chelsea. There's not a single photo of him smiling.
But the previous transfer window, he was trying to force a move away.
Arsenal. Because the money they were paying him was not good enough.
Yeah,
they quickly extended his contract.
They gave him more money.
Extended.
But now the reports are that he says he's actually quoted as saying that Chelsea
he wants to go. Yeah.
He wants to go. Given Wesley Fofana's injury as well, at the moment, you saw their game against Wrexham.
Yeah.
What does Chelsea need in that team to turn them into competitors? Or Chelsea fans should just forget that Chelsea will be maybe competitive this season? Because it looks to me, from where I sit, that Pochettino probably is looking at building with a lot of the young players he took with him. Because quite a few of them have played really well so far, especially in that first friendly game. Why are you looking at this Chelsea team? You think that they would be bringing in a few more experienced players? How did they solve the Wesley Fofana situation?
First of all, they took those players because that is what they have. It's not like they have some players
before you continue, Chelsea fans, give up.
Oh no, you see, I've also seen the discussion that Chelsea fans shouldn't be expecting that they start winning now. And the project is for the long term or the medium term, so it could be after 2 years, 3 years when these players are ripe. Because clearly, when you look at the team that they've got some talented footballers there.
Yeah, Casadei, Andre Santos.
They are just not at the level where you're going to put the pressure on them to win the Premier League, to go on and win the FA Cups and what have you. But they've got a very good manager. But you see, the manager they have, when he was in the Premier League, he was coaching a team that didn't have the pedigree of Chelsea. So if he finished 4th and 3rd,
it was an achievement.
And they finished above Arsenal, the fans will applaud that.
It.
The fans will applaud that. At Chelsea, you can't afford not to be competing for something. You see, the fans will tell you the team is young, but naturally, they can't take that at the bridge. Naturally, they can't take that. It's not that simple.
It's a certain DNA.
It's in them. And I've seen the preseason. You see, Chelsea need a whole new midfield. That was Wrexham. The 5-0 is 5-0. Cool.
No, they need 2 solid midfielders.
Yeah, they need a whole new midfield.
Someone actually said that the whole
midfield. They need about 3.
They need 2.
Because if he likes to play the 4-3-3, right? Posh.
Yeah.
If you need 2 midfielders, that is your starting 11. What do you have at the bench?
Gallagher.
Someone said the whole Chelsea midfield, Kante is better than
no, and that's a serious problem.
You have a point. I think they need 2 more to partner Enzo.
After
that,
there's
you have a point.
Maybe there's nothing to work with.
They need a goalkeeper for sure.
They need a goalkeeper and
a centre back.
Badiashile hasn't travelled because it's also nesting an injury.
Yeah.
There's Fofana who probably wouldn't even kick a ball this season.
True.
So Chelsea might need 2 centre backs, and I still think that Chelsea need strikers, at least two assured or 1 assured. If they're going to trust Jackson, they can have 1 assured striker, and then Jackson when Broha is fit, because you don't know for Broha's injury, you don't know in what state he returns in. You know,
should one of those defenders be Harry Maguire? No. Because that has been in the hold on.
No, now
That's been in the that's been in the story. Like it's been in the news.
The reason why.
Why would you say no?
The reason why I wouldn't think Maguire goes to. It's a fit for Chelsea.
It's a fit.
It's the same reason why he's not thriving at Man United. Under Pochettino, his team is adventurous.
They are high.
They'll go high.
They'll press high.
That is the reason why Maguire failed at Man United. Because
interestingly though, did Poch really necessarily have quick centre backs at Spurs? Because Vertonghen and they didn't seem like they were quick centre backs to me.
They were when they were younger. That is why in post after
they got to the Champions League final when those players were over 30.
No, but they were not slow.
You see, it's not just the quickness.
Yeah,
I think it's not a pace issue.
You have to be agile. And even that they were
turning.
Yeah, you have to be agile enough.
Agility.
That is why after the Champions League final, Post told the board that this group of players, they are too old now. I need to refresh. They didn't back him. It went south and they sacked him. You know, so I don't think Maguire is a Posh fit. I've seen the.
No, the stories are everywhere. Yeah.
I don't think it's a Pochettino fit. But yeah, and again, the thing is, if you have Maguire in the club, you have Badiashile, Fofana is injured. Who else? Thiago Silva. Who are you going to play?
Thiago is 39.
Are you going to play Thiago Silva and Maguire?
No, that's too slow.
So you have to look at, because Thiago would be for sure the captain. He's most often going to start if he's fit and he's healthy.
Maguire, vice captain.
Then who pairs him? And that is where Chelsea's problem is. It would have been brilliant for Fofana to be there. He's not, but actually is injured. So Chelsea have got.
I feel like Chelsea have too many. Like in that left back position, for example, with Kuku, Chilwell, and the French boy, the one they just brought from Lyon.
No, he's right back.
He's a right back.
He's right back.
Right back. Sorry.
Gusto.
So I'm looking at Chelsea fullbacks.
No, that one is sorted.
And I'm saying, no, hold on. I'm not. You see.
Okay.
Poch likes to play 4-3, but he also plays back three a few times.
At times, yeah.
At times.
Yeah,
so James is nice.
Is there are there not options in those fullbacks for some of them to drop into centre back? Maybe James, maybe Kuku. We saw Kuku play there.
No, James, he's not fit. So
when they were buying Cucurella, one of the reasons why he
America.
caused that match was because they also valued him as a player who could play left centre back at times.
In the back three, maybe.
In the back three. So it's part of his profile. Personally, I don't think he's good enough. It was
and the guys there are way better.
They were using it to up his value. I don't think
vibes.
And I'm surprised Chelsea actually bought into that, thinking that Cucurella is a player fit enough for that role. I don't see it.
Okay.
Friends, I think another major problem that Chelsea is facing is the Bowley administration and how they went ahead with their transfer business. Now, because you went to spend 600 million on players Chelsea didn't necessarily need now, or even in the next 2-3 years. Now they needed to balance their books, and that also resulted in them offloading a lot of players that could have been useful now.
Yeah.
So I feel like if it was well planned, you could have kept some of the players you sold, especially some of the Saudi players. You could have kept some of them. Of course, you know that they are not going to stay forever. But at least
so between Ziyech, Mendy, and Koulibaly,
I'm talking about the midfielders.
Kante,
Jorginho, and Kovacic. I would have kept Jorginho and Kovacic for now, at least for this season.
No, me too.
Thank you. And then let Kante go because he's never fit. And then even Reece James too. Maybe we can cash out because he's never fit. That's on the lighter side. But the way they've done it now, you've literally offloaded everybody. Now everybody knows that you have to buy. So you are going to be forced to pay big money or suffer with this lean squad. And it's a similar mistake that my guy, Mikel Arteta. Arteta did very early. Thinned out the squad. And now when he needed to get players, and it was a bit difficult, and he had to go through a season where he literally didn't have anybody on the bench and they suffered. You've done a similar mistake now. And now Chelsea will be hot because it's not just Caicedo. If you get Caicedo, chances are you can't go and get another midfielder because of the price. The striking issue too is there. Chelsea have plenty problems. So right now, just focus on finishing in the top half. That's what I'm saying.
Daniel, it's okay. Listen to me. I'm gonna open up the Twitter Spaces. So sending a request. We have about 10 minutes to take a few comments from Twitter Spaces. We haven't taken comments from there in a while. So send in your request. They'll add you as speakers. But I have some comments here. A big one from our big brother Yao Obing, who says, I beg to differ from Danny K's submission. He needs to look at the build-up structure of Erik ten Hag to understand what's going to happen. He builds up in a 3-1-6. With Onana, he can add an extra player in the build-up to get a 4. This will beat any press. And this one says, it's your guy, Emmanuel of Ashaleboche, Newtown. I'm listening to you live. Let's go. Maestro, thank you. This one says, if I may ask, is the window closed? Eric Ten Hag can't solve all United's problems in 2 summer transfer windows. Interesting. That message from Paddy Ebenezer. Naturi says, we don't... Okay, I think I've read this message. This one says, Ten Hag wants his side to play out from the back, and that's the reason why Onana is signed. For high-pressing teams who have high PPDAs like City, Brighton, Liverpool, you will need intelligent defenders and DMs to make playing from the back system effective. All right? Your messages are welcome on the hashtag game plan. Okay, I've got some speakers now. Let's go to who is the first one? All right. Why don't I just do phone calls? My producers are confusing me. Okay, add the speakers now. Anyway, yeah. In that case, let me just read more messages while we depend on the producers to do their job and add the speakers that they said they are going to add.
Henderson is going to Saudi.
Who is going to Saudi?
Henderson.
He's gone. And now the British press are saying all kinds of things. They said that he would have made more impact because now apparently LGBT community people are the ones who are pissed at Henderson for going to Saudi Arabia.
Oh yes.
Thanks.
Yes.
Why did England play in the Qatar 2022 World Cup?
Danny K, God bless you and bless you and bless you. You see,
They should have put
when the World Cup was there,
Yeah.
Do you remember
the Western world complained about the World Cup going to Qatar because it's a closed nation, they are not open to this and that. I was expecting that they would be bold to boycott the World Cup, but they can't. Why? It's a lot of money. The stage is brilliant. You are now telling me that a whole country, you couldn't boycott the World Cup at Qatar, but you want one man to boycott going to Saudi.
Henderson.
Because
is there.
Because he's won an armband that represents you, and you're saying that he already has money. Who determines how much money is a lot?
All right, Sijo, let's go to Apia on Twitter Spaces.
Let's go to our brothers.
Apia, can you hear me? Hello? Apia, can you hear me? All right, I can't hear Apia. So, what about Inusa? Inusa, can you unmute and speak? I can't hear anyone. All right. You know what? I'm going to go to the phone call. So please, I beg you people. My first choice was phone calls. You people say you... can you hear me? Apia, can you... Or is it Inusa? I can't hear. I can't hear anybody. Okay. I can't hear anybody. Abeku, I can't hear anyone.
Charlie, phone calls.
I can't hear anyone. All right. So we're going to do phone calls instead. 0302... 216-541, 0302-216-541, and 055-1111-997, 0302-216-541, and 055-1111-997. That's what we're going to do now. Take a few messages. I wanted us to really have a conversation about equal pay because the Women's World Cup is underway, and the Australia women released a statement. I'm sorry, what now?
So why didn't you have that conversation? Why did you leave it till this time?
Relax now. We'll have the conversation. Don't worry. We'll have the conversation. We have a caller on the line. I want to see who that is. Is it Abu? Abu, how are you?
Yo, I'm very well. Thank you.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling you from Japan, the best region in Ghana.
No problem. Abu, go ahead. Make it brief.
Yeah, I will make it brief. I call because of this England matter you guys discuss. You see, this is my reason I don't support this English team. So, you understand? They are too much. I don't know. I don't want to use that word. You see, even when they came from France to England, when they play, Manchester play against Swansea, when Dede was the best player of the tournament, that game, instead of them to discuss about Dede excellence performance, they were rather discussing Rooney's poor performance. You see? So thank God.
So you're saying that
I don't support any English team, even though I have favorite players, I have favorite team, but I don't support any of their team because of these small things that you guys just talk about. Thank you.
Interesting. All right. Abu, thank you very much. 0302 216 541 0302 216 541 and 055 1111 97. Sichu, you made it. Let me see if I can take a few comments. But the equal pay conversation is a big one. Ahead of the Women's World Cup, Australia, the women released a video demanding equal pay. FIFA has said, for example, that they will not be focusing on that a lot because they are not interested
Let
at
him
all.
just start talking. Then we charge with.
Let me take Kissy and then come back to you. Kissy?
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, afternoon. Where are you calling from?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
And about Chris Hughton, it's because the managers of the FA now can't manipulate him. Okay, that's why they want to push him out for someone they can manipulate. But this is not going to happen. I'm telling them, it is never going to happen. Thank you very much, friend.
All right, thank you, Kissy. Sicho, you don't have a lot of time. 2 minutes. Let me take Del first. Del. Della. Hello, Della. Okay. Della is off. Okay, good. Let me read a few more comments here. She says, so Chelsea don't have enough strikers, but yet still they loaned out Dafro to Fofana. Like, I don't understand that decision at all. Sichu, equal pay.
Bismarck.
Okay, you know what? Yes. Bismarck will be our last caller, unfortunately. Bismarck, where are you calling from?
Good afternoon, my dear brother.
Yes.
I'm calling from Tema.
All right, go ahead.
Please, what I want to know from you is, the other countries, I'm talking about the Black Star. I want to focus our national teams and the club level in Ghana. I don't want to go to Europe. You see, what other countries are doing, countries like Senegal, Morocco, and other countries, they are doing well. And our people who stay the affairs of our soccer or our sports here, I don't know what they are doing. When Black Star go, trouble. The junior teams go, trouble. The club levels go, trouble. What are they doing? The talking is too much. We need people who can implement so that our soccer will go and go well.
That's fair,
Every
Bismarck.
day.
Thank you.
Please.
Yes, thank you, Bismarck. Thank you very much. Sicho, you actually don't have a lot of time. Just 60 seconds.
So I'm going to read something.
That's it. Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, put all your emojis aside and listen. These are facts and figures. In the last World Cups, before the recent one that they are playing, the women got paid out of 30 million pool of money. And the men got paid out of 400 million, a pool of money. 30 million, 400 million, that one a day. But that is simply because the men, they make as much as 6 billion from their World Cup.
Okay.
And the women made 131 million from their World Cup.
Pay.
Yes. So men made 6 billion, women 131 million. And the women got paid 30 million from the 131, and the men got paid 400 million. Now, if you work the mathematics, the women got paid 20% out of
their
the
total revenue.
And the men got paid 7% out of the revenue they generated. So if you are talking about disparity, the men are actually making way less than what the women are making. So the argument should be percentage, not figures.
Interesting. Thank you, Sicho. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Muftawu, Nabila. That's our show for today. It's been lovely coming your way with another episode of Game Plan here on 99.7 Joe FM. The show will be available later as a podcast on all podcast platforms as well as on the Joy News YouTube channel. My name is Fentuo, Tahiru Fentuo. I was here with Sicho, Daniel, and Muftawu, Nabila. Thanks to you all for joining us. Until next time, bye for now.